welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're joining me for the first time. My name is Sasha Reed, and today I've got another design team project share. So I design for Alina Cutle or Alinacraft on Aliexpress. Every month she sends me a little bundle of all her new releases, and then I get to have a play and share with you what I make and what I create and give you some ideas and inspiration. So all these things were sent to me for free by her, and I will provide all the links below. So if you would like to check anything out, click the links. It'll take you straight to her her page. And yeah, I absolutely enjoy it. I love designing for her. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to share with you what I've done. Today is all about making Christmas cards with background dies that are not Christmas related. So I hope it's fun. I hope you enjoy it. I really wanted to use up my dies, and I wanted to use things that were not typically Christmas colors and typical Christmas stuff, because sometimes I just kind of get in a bit of a slump and I kind of feel like I'm done with red and green. And so I really wanted to make pink Christmas cards, so I have made pink Christmas cards. So here we are, we're going to get started now. So the first card I want to show you is using these background dies. So we've got here these three, and these came out a while ago. I will link below my video on, I think it was, I can't remember now, it might have been about 14 different ways to use these background dies. I'll link that video down below because I have no idea how to put it on the screen. I love when I watch YouTube and they're like, and here it is on the screen. I got no idea how to do that, so you're never probably going to see that from me. But I'll put the link below if you'd like to watch the video on how to make loads of different cards using these dies. In this set, if you go to Alina's shop, you can either purchase all her layering dies together as one bundle or individual. So today I'm just going to use the one die, but I wanted to share with you how they look. So they all stack like this to give you a nice little stacked look. I'll try and catch it without the reflection of my light. So you get the layers. So you have the first layer, which has got some detailed intricateness. And then you get the next layer, and then the last layer, and when you stick them all together, which you just stack them, you get this beautiful 3D kind of effect. Not 3D, I don't know if that's the right word. But there's this set, I'll link it below, and it has been my favorite. I've done a lot with it so far, and I keep going back to it. Layering dies online from branded shops, proper branded shops, are really costly. And these are expensive, but they're not actually expensive. They're really, really cheap. So I was looking at buying some from Birch Press, and those dies cost on sale, I think it was £70 for 3 of them. And these ones, for 3 of them, I think are around £15 or £20. So much cheaper, and I love them. So I bought some envelopes from Amazon. I've been watching a lot of Jennifer Maguire, and she always has the most beautiful coloured envelopes to match. So I found some on Amazon. I will link them below as well if you want to check them out. And they come in a big pack. Let me show you. You get all these colours here. I just wanted some bright, fun envelopes to go with my cards that kind of match. So this is the first card here. We've got, it says Merry Christmas. This is using that background layered die. And what I did was I die cut inlaid these bits here. And so I'm just going to stop now and link you through to my other video. So I did some recording while I was making these cards. So this is a bit weird and a bit odd, and I apologize, but I wanted to share with you how I did some of the die cut inlays and how I did some of the tricks and tips with making my cards. So I've got a couple bonus videos to interlock into this video, so I'll let you watch that now. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I do and how I do my die cut inlays, which I've just started doing, which is so much easier. So normally I would take my panel that I've die cut, I would adhere it onto my card base. So I do the fiddly gluing in between all of these little crevices and all around the edge, and then I would glue it down onto my card, and then I would put a bit of glue in every single hole, and then I would stick my die cut inlays inside the holes. But what is much easier is Alina sells these sheets. They are A4 size double-sided sticky sheets. You get 20 in a pack, I believe. I've been using them like mad. I've bought 2 more packs, even though I haven't even finished the first pack she gave me, but I've gone and purchased 2 more when she's had her sales on because I just find them so helpful and so useful. Now what I do is I cut a panel. This is the double-sided sticky paper or sticky tape. I cut the panel so that it's just smaller than my die cut. So I've used my die, I've cut this shape, and I've cut it so it's about 1/2 centimeter smaller. So if you can see the edge that I've got around. And what I do, just to double check, is I lie it underneath and I make sure that there's no gaps. And if there is, it's not the end of the world. I can just put a bit of adhesive in there. Now the trick to doing this is you're going to peel it back. You're going to work out which side is the sticky side versus just the paper side. You're going to peel back just a tiny bit of that edge. Okay, so you've got just a little bit peeled back. There's the sticky. This is my release sheet. And what I do is I line up the bottom. And it takes literally seconds. So I line up the bottom, I make sure it's straight going all the way up. Then I know that it's going to be straight at the top, and I can see it. So my release paper there is popping my card up a bit. So it's not actually touching the adhesive yet. Then once I'm satisfied that I have covered all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom, I press it down. Okay, so I press that down. Now I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to gradually pull that out and just stick it down as I go. This is something my boss taught me at work, and this is how we do when we've got to adhere a poster. So you know you get posters and they often come in a tube. When we have to frame a poster, what we do is we do this technique where we've got this sticky back board and we just do it like that, and it I swear it's probably the simplest thing that everyone does, but it has revolutionized my crafting world as well. So that release sheet then you stick back on top, and then you just drag your bone fold over quite firmly. Make sure your release sheet is covering up because you don't want it to stick to that adhesive. You don't want to touch this adhesive at all because then your die cuts won't stick. So I'm going to rub it like that. I'm going to make sure it's down nice and tight. And now I have got this sticky sheet on there. You can see every single little hole is covered. And now look, my little panel has also got adhesive on it, so I don't need to faff with sticking adhesive on this. Now you can see how crooked I went, but it doesn't matter. That's why I've cut it smaller. I've cut it smaller so nothing pokes out and shows. Now the next step we're going to do is we're going to peel back the top. Oh, if I can get it. Gel nail polish just makes your nails a little bit thicker. So I'm going to peel back the top like this. Again, doing the same thing. Okay. I'm going to grab my card base, which is here. I'm going to line it up on the bottom. Make sure I've got my edges all even all around. And I'll pop that down. And my release sheet is keeping it off the paper for me. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the top bit down. Okay, and then flip it over, and this is a bit trickier because now it's cardstock, it's a bit harder. And then I can just gently allow that to pop down. Then again, take that release sheet, put it back on top, give it a nice firm rub over. Turn it around, I can't do it with my left hand. Rub again, and now you have got sticky back adhesive on every single one of those areas. Okay, now what I want to do next is I'm going to take my die, I'm going to die cut it, and I'm going to very carefully try not to let any of those pieces pop out. Okay, so I have die cut it again, you can see here, and I've used the Ombre paper from which you can buy in Alina shops. It goes from pink, silver to blue, and I've left it all in there. So I very carefully took it out and tried to leave it in. Now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and line it up over the top and make sure that I'm lined up with all my edges. Now I should be right over the top. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to poke out every single one of these. Now once I do a couple, then I'll be able to make sure that I'm in the right spot. So I'm going to do a few up there, I'm going to do a few down here, because that way I can then see through a bit better. It feels like they're going mostly into the holes, so I think I'm alright. I can pick it up again. It's not sticking. Uh-oh. Got a bit sticky there. Right, okay, so you can see all my pieces are going exactly into those holes. So I'm going to try and do the rest now. Now when you're done that, and you've got them all in, then you can go over it again, give it a rub over with your foam folder and your relief sheet or a scrap bit of paper, and just push them really all nice and in. Now if you didn't want to do this inlay technique, then you could just take some glitter card and back it underneath. I just really like how it all feels as like one layer, and it just seems really quite cool to me. So that is how I do my die cut inlay on a background die. I use an adhesive sheet. This is again is the Ombre glitter card, so now I can use this on another project. And I could do a die cut inlay with this one, which is why I used to do that. And this paper is also Alina's shop if you're looking for some ombre paper. She's got several different kinds. Okay, so I hope that was helpful, and I do apologize because I'm trying to remember what I said in that video and not repeat myself in this one because it was the other day when I was making them. But this die here is also from Alina's shop, and it's this Merry Christmas die, and it comes with these baubles that hang down. And what I've done is I've layered it twice on the same pink cardstock that I used for the base, and this is Stampin' Up! Cardstock. And then I layered it with a silver non-shed glitter on the top. And then I took my markers, so this is the ombre paper, I can't remember whether I said that in the other video. I've taken my Arteza markers, which look like this. Arteza have given these to me to try and play with, and I do love them. I think I've said this in the next bit of my video coming up. So I just took some of the pinks. So I used some of these pinks here and just coloured on a scrap bit of paper, a scrap bit of like, you know, one of these bits of your shiny leftover stuff, and just coloured and worked out what colours matched the most. And because it's alcohol ink, it dries very quick and it's very permanent. So you can see I coloured in the baubles with a couple pinks, a green and a blue, and then I oopsied on my card and I don't know what to do to fix that. So we just kind of left it for now because it's so close I can't really rub it out. But I'm really pleased with how this works, and it's a pink Christmas card. And then on the inside I layered it with a piece of white card, and I stamped a little Christmas tree, which is using this stamp set here from Alina. This is one of her Christmas stamps. I really like it. It comes with matching dies as well. Sorry, I tried to have a look just now for these dies for you and I couldn't find them, but they do have matching dies that cut out the shapes. I'll link them all below so you can have a look. But I used this set and I used a few of the stamps. I really like it because it's got lots of little extra stamps and some really pretty sentiments, and there's lots that are just in these really lovely little shapes, and these die cut out, so it's just nice. So that's what I used down there. And then on the envelope I stamped the bauble from that stamp set, and then I coloured in the bow with my Wink of Stella, and I just wanted to match it, so I can't wait to send somebody a Christmas card that's pink. Next I have this background die. It doesn't come in a set, there aren't any multiple ones for it, it's just this one die. It's due to be like a sunshine, and when I saw it and I was thinking, oh, that'd be a really good Christmas card as well, so I kind of did it like the moon instead of the sun, and I kind of did a night scene with it. And so what I originally did was I die cut it out, and then I die cut inlaid, which I'm going to link to in another video in just a minute, and then I stamped Joy to the World on top of this card. Now when I looked at it, it just looked a bit flat, hence all my gems. I went a little crazy on the gems because it just wasn't looking right, and then I had this idea to then maybe do a layer. So I got my punches out and I punched out a circle to go underneath in silver, then I re-stamped and embossed Joy to the World, which is from a stamp set that I've got in my stash. It's not got a brand name on it, so I'm not sure where it's come from. I just managed to find it. And then I popped it up on some foam and stuck it on. But this is my little Christmas die, my Christmas card made out of a sunshine die. So I'm going to link to the video now to show you how I did this. So I'm working on this card at the moment, and what I really want is I really want some glitter coming through, but I'm thinking like a midnight sky sort of card, and so I don't want like a bright silver glitter through it. And I was digging through my stash of Alina's colours. I really like this sort of teal dark blue, and I really wanted something fun coming out, so it was kind of like the moon shining rather than you know, like, you know what, like one of those really dark nights where like the moon's there and you can kind of see it, but it's kind of hidden behind the clouds, and you kind of get the rays from the moon. So I was thinking that's kind of the effect I really wanted to get. Now I went through all my Alina glitter cards, and I found these are the darkest blues I had, but they weren't really going with this color, and it wasn't what I was looking for. So then I went and grabbed a sheet of her silver, and found that I went through, grabbed some silver. I got my Arteza markers out. So I've got these Arteza alcohol pens, and you get quite a lot in the bag, so you get all these colors. You kind of have one of everything. Really, really good set to have. So I pulled out all my dark blues, because you can color on top of non-shed glitter. It doesn't wreck your pens, and you can get sort of the color. And I just started having a play and just testing them out. And then I found that this one, which is the Arteza, can't say that word, so I'm not going to try, whatever that word is, blue. And I really like how this one looks. So this is, if I colour on here, you get that kind of look, which is really similar to that. But obviously when it dries lighter, which is kind of the effect I wanted to go for. I wanted the same shade, but a bit lighter. Then I can wipe a bit off with my cloth, and I get the same look as when it sort of dries. So that's when I've wiped it off with the cloth, that's when I've just let it dry itself. And so if you're in a bit of a rush, you can just sort of wipe off that first layer. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just colour in a whole section of this with my alcohol pen, and then I'm going to die cut it out so I can get my strips that I want. Okay, so I've coloured it. You can see the lines, but I think those are all going to fade a bit. I'm going to just heat set it so I can dry it a bit quicker. It is like, oh, the fumes in here, because they are alcohol pens, so it's like using what are these, Sharpies, permanent pens. It's that kind of, it's not as potent as a Sharpie, but it's definitely strong smelling. I will put the links down for the Arteza pens below as well. I do have an affiliation with them, so they have sent me stuff for free. They sent me these markers for free to try, and I will not share with you stuff. Well, I'll share with you the stuff they send me, but I will be honest with you if I don't like them and don't think they're really good. But I've been really happy with everything so far. And these markers, I keep reaching for them time and time again. There's all the colours I need in it, so I'm really happy with them. I do have an affiliate link, just to warn you, so it doesn't cost you anything. You get, it doesn't charge you anything, but I get a small percentage for sharing them with you, and I'm not bothered if you choose to go to Arteza on your own and look it up and purchase. I'm really not bothered. I'll put the links there because they provided them for me, but please don't feel like you have to shop from me necessarily. It doesn't really worry me, but I do make a small commission if you click my link and purchase via my link. I just want to be very open and honest with that, but I'm not going to tell you about a product if I think it is rubbish. I won't promote it for them. Okay, I will dry this now and then we'll see what it looks like. Okay, I think that's dry now. Because it's an alcohol pen, it dries quite quick anyways on its own. I'm going to give it a little rub with my cloth. Nothing's really coming off other than that light bit. Because some of it will, you know, just sit on the top of the glitter as well. So I'm just going to get rid of the sort of that excess. And you can see it's a little bit blotchy. where the pen is, but that's not going to matter because I'm going to die cut it and I will get those sort of strips. So yes, and I'm going to do the same as I did before with my double-sided tape. I'm going to stick it on the back here, and then I'm going to stick these through into those slots. So I hope that video was helpful, and I do apologize. It is a bit weird having these random videos in. That's the last one I'm going to put in there, but I wanted to share the tips and tricks along the way. Now the envelope, I did the same. I stamped it in a matching ink or a coordinating ink, and then I did that little bow in the Wink of Stella. And on the inside of this card, again, I put the little tree, and I inked up the edges of my card with the blue ink that matches the tree. So that's another Christmas card. Next up, I have a card made using these butterflies. I love this butterfly layering set. It comes as a set of 3. I have got a set of 2. The third one I know I cut out recently, and I think it's on my cutting desk and in my pile of to do and to use. So I apologize, I haven't got that third one, but I have, and I don't even have I normally keep them in the back to show you the layers, but there are 3 of these, and it is the same as the first one that I showed you. So you've got this one with the embossed detailing, and then 2 plain ones. And the great thing about these is that when these butterflies come out, you then have butterflies that can layer on themselves as well. So you can stack the butterflies that pop out, you can use them on separate cards. It's just a really awesome set. So I've done this card here. Yes, another pink Christmas card. So we've got this one here, and I die cut inlaid the same as I've shown you in the last 2 videos, and I've stuck down silver, and this is shedding glitter, so it will get glitter in places. And then I took the die and cut it out again in silver, so I've got silver glitter and silver foil. And that's how the butterflies stack on top of each other, so they layer up really nicely. And that's only 2 of the layers. Actually, sorry, that's just the 1 die. And I used the butterflies from this 1 die and layered them up. But you can also, if you get all 3 of the dies, you can then layer them up amongst themselves. So that's quite good. And again, you can purchase them individually or all together, which is quite nice. And when you get the bundle, I think you get a little bit of a discount. Now with this one, I stuck it down, and I wanted to make it pop a bit more without having the faff of gluing all my layers together or die cutting it out of foam and trying to stick it down, because I was finding it's very, very flimsy when you cut it out. Not flimsy, I guess is the right word. It kind of, because it's only attached just there where the Y is, it's really hard. You can't just hold it and lay down the M, because the whole rest of it just flops down, especially when you put adhesive on the back, like some liquid glue. It then starts to get a big mess everywhere. So one of the tricks that I finally remembered at like the last minute, after I've done all my other cards, is to keep your die cut piece that you cut it out of. Then you can lie it down on your card, figure out exactly where you want it to go, then use some light, not low tack tape, and tape it down, and then you can get your glue on the back of your die and you can lay it in to that pattern, and then you just lift it up and then it's perfectly placed. So I did that with the black, and then I did it with the silver. Now on this one, I used some sequins, and these gems I popped in the middle. They're from Alina's shop. The sequins are from the range, I think, here in the UK. They're just a bundle of color coordinating sequins. And so I've stuck that all on. I die cut inlaid. Oh, I did die cut inlay on 2 different colors, I think. So I did this little dots in silver, and then I did the rest in the glitter silver. So it's quite fun. I've got some sort of different characteristics going on there. I don't think characteristics is the right word. We're going to make it work anyways. And then the inside I did the same. I inked up the edges of my white and then stamped that little tree in the bottom. And that's my second pink Christmas card. I've done the envelope exactly the same as before. Now, my last card, I haven't done an envelope for. I do have square envelopes. I just couldn't be asked to dig it out and stamp it. I'm on a really tight time pressure today. My kids finish every Friday by lunch, so I'm trying to finish up my projects, film, so I can post this Friday night so you can have something to look at over the weekend. I'm using this die set here, which comes as a set of 4. So there are 4 die sets in here. Again, you get to keep all the hearts that pop out. You've got your intricate one with the embossed detailing, which looks like that. Then you've got a plain one, which I don't have over here. I think they're all on the back now. And then that one, and then in this last one is where I put them all. So then they kind of all stick together and form a 4-layered image. So again, I've just used the detailed one on this card. You can buy them individually or all together as a bundle. There is also the smaller version, which is like this, and there's a 4th one which cuts out the embossed layer, which looks like this. It's the embossed one is over on my cutting table again. So that top layer looks like that with the embossed details. So you get these 4 layers, and then they all layer up. Sometimes I stick them in the back, which is why I'm checking. Then they all layer up. Now this does not cut this edge here, and it does not cut the side edges. It just cuts the top. So I was thinking this could be kind of nice for like a folding card and using this as like a side or something. But those are also available. They're the same style as this, but the smaller version. I'm not using that one today, by the way. I did plan to, but ran out of time. So for this one, I layered up. I wanted to use purples. So I used a light purple and a darker purple, and then I found these sequins from the range in my stash, and they're just a dark purple and a light purple sequin, and I kind of stuck them down. And then I layered this one up with 4 times. So I did 3 layers of white, and then I did the layer of silver on the top. And it was really tricky because I forgot about the technique of using the outline to line it all up. So I did physically line these all up, and you can see that bobble's kind of gone whoop over that way. But never mind, it looks like it's swinging in the wind because it's cold and it's winter. But there's my Christmas card using hearts. And again, I die cut inlaid on this one. And then I've got my inside layer like that. So I love these Christmas cards using the background layers. They just add lots of fun, and it's really fun to use Christmas or make Christmas cards not using Christmas colors. But I do hope you subscribe. I absolutely love all my comments that I get. I try really hard to reply to every single comment. I've been getting more and more subscribers, which has been really fun. And this has been an amazing craft journey. I am now starting to make money from doing this. So now I'm able to buy craft supplies using all my hard-earned work, essentially. And I'm grateful to all of you because you guys are the ones that make it happen. And you are so much fun. I love reading your comments. And I'm so grateful that you join me and so grateful that you hang out with me all the time. And I hope you stick around. I'll be having some more videos coming up. I've got to make my album for Alina. She was reminding me today about my album. So I've got this huge album which comes with 9 dies. And I haven't got the sample picture anywhere. But this makes a 6x6 scrapbook album. So I will be making this album very soon. And there it is. So I can't wait to make this. I've just been trying to get through some Christmas cards as well. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. Bye!